Hey, what's up guys? Radku here, back with another Yu-Gi-Oh video, and today is going to be looking through all of my decks. So recently, with the influx of my deck profiles, I've been doing a ton of decks. I think I have like 30 decks at this point. So I'm going to show them all off. You guys can actually look at this to basically get a glimpse of literally all my other decks, all my other deck profiles. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. So starting things off, we have my ABC deck. This deck has a ton of bricks. Has this engine. It has Union Driver. This is my Sir Bricks-a-Lot deck. It's and Destruction Sword. But it's definitely really good when it comes to combos. I really like this deck though, in general. Now this is my pride and joy. I came to explain how much I love Abyss Actors. This deck is literally my bread and butter. Like I can't explain how good this deck is, cause then I'll start crying. You have your field spell, which basically negates all your opponent's effects, and when they activate their effects, they end up destroying a spell card instead. Completely ignores all your opponent's effects, because it turns their effects into that. And then your spell cards are so overpowered. Um, basically, um, This allows you to special summon as many Abyss Actors from your deck as possible. This allows you to draw 5 cards. This allows you to this card's meh. If this set card is destroyed by battle, you can add up to 2 Abyss Actor or Abyss Scripts from your deck to your hand. That's meh, but its main effect is pretty good too. But the playhouse is where everything just goes over the edge. And the reason I play traps in this deck is because you want to bait your opponent into having to destroy your spells and traps. So you have to have actual lethal spells and traps to bait them out with. Then I have Altergeist. Now, no one really likes Altergeist because it's such a control deck and you can't really play if you're playing against Altergeist. Ignore this, I just never got the chance to change it out. It's supposed to be a pot of avarice, but this is like a combo control deck. It works really well, and you can do some decent combos that lead into some spell and trap cards with some link monsters on the field, which is pretty good. And this is an extra deck. You don't really need any of your extra deck, but your extra deck helps. So you play multiple copies of almost all your cards, just so that you have the option to go into your extra deck if need be. Burning Abyss. Now this deck is personally, to me, like one of the most powerful decks of this format. Burning Abyss is just so good now. It has Graph and Seer back at 2. Even though that wouldn't seem like much, and tour guide to 3. Even though it doesn't seem like much, it is so good for Burning Abyss, because their effects are really powerful. As well as you have tour guide, which allows you to summon any of them from the deck without them destroying themselves. And then your utility cards here are pretty powerful as well. As well as being able to play Makiora the Destructor, the new and improved one. Considering that it hasn't gotten its errata yet, you can still use it pretty effectively. It is a hard once per turn, but if you can send it with like Foolish Burial, and then summon it back and then send it, it's pretty good. You don't need to go through a ton to use its effect effectively, but it's a good effect. Ha. Then I play Crystron. Now this one I actually did a deck profile over pretty recently. This is a synchro deck, and its cool gimmick is that it can synchro summon during your opponent's turn. It can't use your opponent's monsters, sadly. That'd be really cool if there was like a synchro deck that allowed you to synchro summon using your opponent's cards during their turn, so that you're completely reliant on your opponent. But I play the barrier statue of Torrent in here, just so that I have a control variant in the deck. So even though I can get my big boss monsters on the field, they're all water, so they can all activate their effect, except for Mathematician, but that doesn't really matter. Cyber Dragons. This one is a goodie. I really like Cyber Dragon because it has so many fusion options in it. Like I play like 5 different polys. I play instant fusion because I can summon out a ton of cards from here. I have Power Bond. I have Polymerization. I have Cyber Load Fusion, and I have Overload Fusion. So and I have Super Poly. So all of these are just super powerful. Plus the Cyber Dragon main deck is really powerful as well. And all the cards in Cyber Dragon are super solid, especially since Nova and Infinity are both like cards that are played in other decks. It helps to like stick to the origin and being able to go very strong with it. Then my Dark Magician deck. This one actually turned out really good. This is my more from scratch deck. This is fairly powerful. Really the only thing I do is cut out a Dark Magician and put in another blue boy. But there were some problems during testing with getting to some of my extra deck monsters. But my main thing was that I was able to get to a Dragoon and pretty well lock down my board, my opponent's board. And I could go into Chaos Magician and Chaos Max, which with the Ritual / Fusion spell, which is really good. And I actually really like that deck. Oh, Dragoonides. Now, Dragoonides, I didn't edit it since the last ban list, so Jet is still in here. I really only had Jet, as an option to get to Helki Fibrax, because this deck has so many tuners. But, may he rest in peace. There are other options. I could run, like, 3 Deskbot 03 and 1 Deskbot 01, but the engine is so big, and it'll never be the same as Jet. We miss you, Jet. But this deck was fairly powerful. It still is. I just need to find some substitutions for Jet. I could probably put in some more Dragoonity cards. So, yeah. We'll skip the etheric. I'll show you guys that in a second. So for my Evil Eye deck, I just got a comment on one of my last videos that, I had too many bricks in this deck with Super Poly and Left Arm. Considering that some of my cards can already search out Selene, Left Arm has too steep of a cost, which I completely understand that. That actually makes sense. So I'm thinking about cutting out Left Arm offering and Super Poly, maybe side decking Super Poly. I'm kind of just throwing out ideas in this video just to see where it goes. But like this deck is really powerful, if not a bit bricky, but currently it's a very popular deck. Oh, my gimmick puppet deck. This deck is a gimmick. I can't really use it very well cuz it's not very good. This deck can brick a lot. Like even more than my ABC deck, because we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 bricks in this deck that can't be used at all unless you have something else to combo it with. So having 10 bricks in a deck is not very good, but we do have ways of getting out of it, such as card destruction or Humpty Dumpty, or my favorite addition, Destroy. Destroy is like super powerful. I don't know why no one plays it. You contribute it and then special summon two gimmick puppets from your hand, which normally that doesn't sound like an overpowered effect, but it's basically one card gimmick puppet of strings. So I really like it. And thinking about selling some of my decks, so just keep that in mind. I have my Grand Maju deck profile that I did yesterday. This is like super budget, except for the Extrav, but Extrav was just a tech option. Like you can play duality in exchange for it. Even though you do special summon a little bit, you only special summon like 3 cards in this entire deck. So it doesn't really matter. It's very control heavy until you can get to your Grand Maju, and you can just swing at them for game really easily. Because you got cards like Soul Absorption, which you can gain 5,000 life points if you activate a Desires, or you got Stromberg, which can halt your opponent's attacks for a while, which is really good. Then I play Heroes. Now, my hero deck isn't very updated. I've had some stuff that I'm putting in and out of this hero deck that would make it a lot better. But I really do like the fact that you can combo Grand Merge with Nebula Neos to draw like 5 cards, depending on how many monsters your opponent has, which usually they'd have that many cards. And I get, like, if that is a powerful play, why is no one playing Abyss Actors that has a spell card that allows you to draw 5 freaking cards? Again, Abyss Actor, top tier people. Then I got Magispector. Magispector was an okay deck. Really, the only thing that put it over the top for me was the Windwitch engine, which definitely really helped with any of my combos being able to go into a crystalling pretty easily. And the fact that I did have some pendulum options in this deck, but I also had the control option with the barrier statues, and that really helped. Then my trolling deck. This deck is like, I hate this deck. Like, I can't even describe how stally it is. Like, it's so sad. I play all the Mirror Force cards. I play Mirror Wall. I play Skill Drain. I play Imperial Order. I play Bad Reaction to Samachi. I play 3 Gift Card. I play Mystic Mine. I play Dark Ruler No More. I play Meteor of Destruction. I play Final Countdown because it's a freaking 60 card deck and I need to play Final Countdown. It's just requirement. Terraforming to search out your Mystic Mine. Dark Hole because we don't have any actual monsters. This is basically like playing for Raigeki, considering that we don't actually play any monsters. Soul Taker, target one face-up card your opponent controls, destroy that target. Boom. Gone. Then your opponent gains 1,000 life points, so you get a free destruction and 1,000 life point burn damage with Samachi. Upstart Goblin, just some draw power, and 1,000 points of burn damage. Tons of kaijus just to troll them. They get their like crazy Cleafort towers or whatever the freak it is, and then boom, gone. I don't know why I kept drawing this card, but your opponent cannot activate any spell cards until the end of the end phase of the next turn. So this was kind of used to just stop them from destroying my spells or my traps. I don't really care if they destroy my Mystic Mine, but yeah, this was a sad deck to make. Okay, big boy, Orchist. Now I did edit this. I feel like it did at one point have the whatchamacallit Jet Synchron engine in it, but I think I got rid of it. Either that or I never had it and I'm just being crazy. But I really think I did because I have Helki Fibrax in here. So, this deck it can still make Helki Fibrax super, super easily. And this is a really heavy combo deck and I love it. Like, I genuinely still love this deck. And it's gonna get even more powerful because I heard there's gonna be more support sometime soon. Um, Especially with cards like Armageddon Knight, the Scrap Engine, all of its super powerful extra deck. It can super easily just destroy your opponent. Then I got my Kree deck profile that I did 2 days ago. This is a pendulum like control deck because this is basically Towers Turbo. If you can get Apocalyphort Towers on the field, you can just sit on it for like an hour and it's unaffected by everything. It's got 3,000 attack and it's basically unbeatable until they release Link monsters. Now it is beatable, which is sad. I'm sad. I do play Skill Drain in here though, so that's cool because a lot of the monsters are normal monsters. Then my Raid Raptor deck. I play this deck as I actually really like this deck. I've been spending time. Sorry, it's like 2 o'clock. I've been spending time perfecting this deck, and I finally got a really good lineup. The reason I play so many link up magic spells is because I play a Utopia engine. So you summon Utopia, rank up into Utopia Ray. Then if you have a discard, you can discard it to summon Utopic Zexal with 4 counters, which is even more than what the Utopic the actual Numeron Utopia engine is, which now that I think about it, isn't very good anymore, considering that people know how to counter it now. So it's not as consistent as that engine, but no one can counter it unless they have like a Solemn Judgment. Then like for my actual deck, I cut out Blaze Falcon and put in a Utopia the Lightning, because if somebody like Solemn Judgments my Utopic Zexal, then I'll have the materials to go into Utopia the Lightning pretty easily. So, my Dino deck. This one I think is an upgraded Dino deck, because I have the side deck of a fully decked out extra deck. The reason it says real Dino right there is because this used to be my actual deck, but then I signed up for a tournament and I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna go full out. I'm gonna create like the most powerful dinosaur deck you've ever seen, and then it turned out to be not the most powerful dinosaur deck you've ever seen because it bricked. But yeah, you got your options with both the True King monsters, because you do play enough fire monsters to supplement the need for True King Egnimized. Then I main deck Dark Ruler No More, and I play an extra because really the only 2 cards you need for your actual combo is Trishula and Calamities. But Cloud Castle really worked for turn 2 plays, which you can easily set up with this deck because this deck is hyper consistent. and I really, really like it. So for my rocket boys, I just actually got my Starlight Rare, Dragonity Knight Romulus, and my Starlight Rare, Striker Dragon in the mail, and I am so happy. This deck is super budget, but it's also really, really consistent. Like, you can set up turn one boards with two an Unchained Abomination, an Appaloosa with like 3 to 4 negates, um, and still have like enough materials to go into a Borlud Savage Dragon, and it's super consistent all in all. I'll make a new deck profile over it and do some combos and test hands to see where the deck is at, but I really, really like this deck. This is actually my first deck. So, let's see. Then scrolling. Ooh, oops. Salamangreat. This is a new deck that I made pretty recently. Thank you for so many views on it. I really, really like this deck. It's got a unique playstyle. It's more of a controlled playstyle than an OTK playstyle, but then this deck can use the transcode OTK as well as the topologic OTK and access code OTK. It can OTK, it just doesn't always OTK. And then you have cards like Phantasme and Nibiru that really combo well as just Nibiru being able to like slap your opponent in the face and Phantasme being able to unblock your hand, even though you don't really brick in this deck unless you draw all your hand traps. Then you brick. Like big time. Then let's see. Sky Striker. I think I spelled it Sky Striker. No, I spelled it Sky Striker. So, this deck I actually really, really like. This deck can effectively play Mystic Mine as well as a ton of hand traps. And I haven't updated this deck after the ban list released Widow Anchor to 3, but, I wish we had Engage back. Give us back Engage, Konami. Please. I just want to take out my Twin Twisters. Maybe take out one Dark Ruler no more and put those Engage in. God. Sky Strikers is really good. Very heavy control deck. And personally one of my like favorite decks just because of the unique playstyle of being able to play so many spells in the deck. It also along with Evil Eye. It's very unique. My Synchron deck is dead. I wasn't able to fix it. I put in a bunch of other things, but now I just have way too many tuners. I did put in a gadget engine just to supplement something, and then I put Karkardi, which doesn't do anything. Um, this deck is gone. Yeah. Oh, it's funny because right after the ban list, when Jet Synchron got banned, and Olion got banned, people started watching my Synchron video and commented, this deck is dead, right? And I was like, I know, I made it 2 days before the ban list. I'm sorry. It was very sad, but it's fine. Then, Tenyi, um, my Tenyi deck is actually, like, very cool, to me. Like, it's pretty cut and dry. It'll freaking load. Um, but, you know what? I'll link the Tenyis down in the description if it doesn't load. But, Tenyis is a very unique archetype because it doesn't really normal summon. I play, 3 different normal summons in the deck. I play a Light and Darkness Dragon just as a form of powerful negation. I play Vanity's Fiend and a Vanity's Ruler, just to supplement a normal summon. Um, God, why won't it load? That's really weird. Well, then I have oh, there we go, Tenyis. So I play Vanity's Ruler. I don't play Vanity's Fiend apparently. But Light and Darkness Dragon for a form of negation, and then you have so many special summons in this deck. Like, it's so cool. And then the unique playstyle of if you have a normal monster on the field, then you instantly win. Then cards like Fist of the Unrivaled Tenyi is really powerful. Then look at my water deck, which I never did a deck profile on because I never really liked the deck. Water is a pretty cool deck. I was trying to keep it to 40 cards, even though this is like the 60 card variant. I was trying to play the Frog engine, I was trying to play the Mermail engine, and it just didn't work because I was cluttering the deck. I really think I'm gonna delete this deck. But this deck just never really worked for me. But finishing off this amazing video of going through all my decks is my etheric deck. This is my custom deck. I used a bunch of Saint Seiya artworks for it. I basically created I created an archetype for the New Order cards. I actually went through the trouble of creating New Order cards. Um, and I instead of making them Egyptian based, I made them Greek based, and put in some pretty. I think they're cool. Um, let's see. Um, there's got to be a way in. I know there's a way in here to make it to where you can view your custom cards. I'll find it later. Oh, more options. Official cards only. All custom cards. My custom cards. Basically, this deck revolves around just like generic combos. You got your three boss monsters in Poseidon, Zeus, and Hades. Hades actually has a really good graveyard effect. While you can banish this card as well as two other etheric monsters and special summon as many final order monsters. As possible from your graveyard, but negate their effects and destroy them at the end phase. But this deck, oh no, it died. That deck it isn't good in the custom format because the custom format has way too many overpowered decks. But it would definitely see like it wouldn't see any play. It's trash. I just spent the time making it because I was depressed one day and decided, you know what, I should make my own custom deck. And I think I'm gonna end the video there because I'm freaking tired and barely got any sleep last night. And yeah. Please like, subscribe, share, comment. Let me know what you thought, and let me know if you want another one of these after another few weeks of doing videos. But yeah, maybe I'll do a deck profile. Maybe I'll do Necros soon. But yeah, I'll see you in the next Yu-Gi-Oh video, guys. Peace.